Hello, 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 and thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Soraya Marshall Wright. Welcome to The World According to Soraya. For those of you who do not know, I'm an estate planning attorney serving North and South Carolina, and I help families plan for the unexpected and protect their valuables. All right, so just this week alone, while perusing social media, I've read two very disturbing articles. The first one I came across was about a Dallas grandmother who decided that putting her son in, or her grandson rather, her 6-year-old grandson in a shed was appropriate punishment. I don't even want to think about why a 6-year-old child would need to steal food, but the reasoning behind this was that this child was quote unquote stealing food and therefore locking him in a shed, tying him up, his hands behind his back with a shoelace was appropriate punishment. The second article I came across was about rapper Little Boozy, aka Boozy Badass. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly because I'm so far removed. But nevertheless, he was bragging on social media about facilitating the what I would call molestation of his preteen son. And I don't want to go into too much details about this, but this is what I want to share. This is a perfect example of why it is super important to have the proper people in place to take care of your children if something happens to you. You may be thinking, this is not something I need to worry about. My husband or my wife is available if something happens to me. But God forbid, if something happens to the both of you, who's your backup? Who's the default person? Is it a crazy family member who thinks that locking your child up in a shed is appropriate punishment? Is it a deranged family member or other parent who thinks that it's appropriate to quote unquote train your child by teaching them inappropriate behavior? Yeah, those are all things that you need to consider. So when you think about estate planning, you may not think that you need to get anything in place because you don't have an estate or any assets to speak of. But if you have children, they are probably the most, not probably, they are the most important things that you need to protect or important people that you need to protect. So taking the appropriate steps to make sure that you not only have a backup, but a backup to the backup plan on who will take care of them and manage their affairs if you are incapacitated or if you pass away is super important. All right. So if you didn't know that estate planning is another important way to protect your children, now you know. And I'll see you next time.